Anu Ungaraja with the Small Farm Program, and here again with Eric to talk about apples and apple production. So Eric, we see fruit.
Yeah.
So when you're looking at the tree now and you're making some decisions as far as management, what are you looking at here that we have fruit set?
Yep, so we have fruit set, and we want to thin this crop to its optimal harvest level right now. And for a few reasons. The earlier we thin the fruit, the bigger the remaining fruits will become in these next 2 months, 3 months. And the apples are producing hormones that are deciding what the flower buds for next year will become. And if there's too many apples, too many seeds producing gibberellins, they are producing buds next year without flowers. So too many apples this year, no flowers next year. And that decision is happening, that physiology is happening right now or in the next few weeks.
Huh. That's so interesting. So you're making decisions not just about this year's crop, but next year's crop.
Absolutely.
Just like when we were talking about pruning. You were thinking about pruning this year for next year as well.
Right. That's right.
So how do you make that decision? How do you decide how many fruit to leave here and to get rid of?
Yeah, it's a little dependent on variety, but generally speaking, in this growing system, this is tall spindle, as we've discussed. These trees are going into their 8th leaf, so they're mature. We want a bushel and a half of apples per tree. That's about 100, 120 apples. And so we can count the fruit, but generally speaking, we don't count the fruit. We kind of eyeball it, but we really want roughly one apple every 5 to 6 inches. Not on the entire tree, but in these fruiting zones. So this branch, for instance, we have 5 apples that are definitely sizing. You can see these are the flowers that are boarded based on our chemical thinning. We have 5 apples. If we let all 5 of these apples become fruits, there'll be a big 3 to 4 inch diameter apple here, a big one here, a big one here, a big one here, a big one here, and this branch may be broken, or they'll be undersized, not to their full potential, and for sure we're reducing the potential fruiting ability of this branch for next year. So I would probably take these 2 off and leave 3. That would be nice. 3 nice apples. This one here is not going to float an apple.
That one.
So
Oh, okay. So there's quite a lot of flowers that I see here.
Yeah.
That are dead now from the thinners. How did you thin this?
Yeah, so we applied fruit tone. It's in kind of really specific times of the year. Generally speaking, the 3rd week in May, and based on the weather forecast after that event, kind of decided the severity of the thinning spray and its effect on the tree, and basically simply speaking, it stressed the tree out, and the tree decided to not continue to form these fruitlets, and it maintained this one, which has continued to grow. And so that's a simple, easy, inexpensive way to thin fruit, and that's why it's the preferred method for thinning. Hand labor, the expense of hand labor to do that thinning would be far greater. So in an ideal world, we don't have to do any hand thinning, but here we do, but not a lot, just a little bit.
So if I was looking at this branch right here, and I'm seeing a whole mess of fruit, particularly here, I could pull this one off.
Yep.
And then I could pull that one off.
Yep.
But otherwise, would this look okay to you?
You could. I mean, so we are. The nice thing about the chemical thinning we did this year is that we did really thin this variety really well down to 1. So we don't have clusters. So that's kind of the first.
Oh, here's one with a cluster right here.
Yeah. So here's a cluster. We have 2.
Okay.
We'll take the smaller one.
All right.
I'll take this one too. I'll take this one too. I'll take that one.
Wow.
So
Okay.
now we've got nicely even spaced. These we can tell are not doing anything because they're small.
I can imagine if you were doing this by hand, it would take a long time.
It does. It takes time.
Yeah.
very important. You know, the marketability of the fruit is far less if it's small. So, you know, generally speaking, the value of the apple is greater the bigger it is.
What is that hanging there?
Oh, that's pheromone disruption.
Pointing to this thing right here.
That's called a twin tube isomate.
Nice. Sounds like my skis.
It's twin tube, meaning one tube has the pheromone disruption for codling moth, and one tube has the pheromone disruption for oriental fruit moth.
Oh,
So,
that's cool.
so two pests that like to burrow into the apples and lay eggs. So that is sending out
Like a hormone.
a hormone that is it's basically confusing the codling moth and the oriental fruit moth. They cannot find their mates, and sad but true, they're lost. And so the benefit is we can reduce our insecticides because we're reducing the likelihood that the codling moth and the oriental fruit moth
That's
are
great.
going to have high populations in this country.
So we have looked down here below, but you know these trees also have a lot of fruit up top, and you have to get to thin those. Do you
Yeah.
change the way you thin at the top of the tree?
Well, we thin a little more severely at the top of the tree because there's always more fruit up at the top of the tree just because there's more sunlight, there were more flowers, there's more fruit set.
Okay.
So we do thin more. The other thing is if you get a heavy thunderstorm in here, the wind is going to affect the top more severely. It's much more likely to break
Okay.
if there's a heavy fruit load on the top of the tree. So we definitely want to thin fairly severely up in the top of the tree to reduce the potential breakage of branches, and the real disaster is when there's too much weight and we lose the trellis.
Oh, that would be a
And
real drag.
It's a sad situation if it happens.
Huh.
So,
This is great.
so we're thinning these apples to hopefully support the branches up here, and again, you know, give us big fruit, give us
Nice.
crop for next year.